We are going to be making a mac and cheese, and hopefully it works because this is kind of a food experiment. Little backstory. I was on Facebook talking with a friend who's really into food like me, just like really into vegan cuisine. He was saying that he loves to make vegan mac and cheese with cashews, but cashews can be so expensive. And that just got me thinking, I'm wondering if we can make it cheaper. And then I thought, what is the cheapest thing that's like a cashew? Well, it's peanuts. Peanuts are super cheap. And I thought, I'm wondering if that would mac and cheese. Can you soak peanuts, these are soaked peanuts, and turn them into mac and cheese? And then I thought, maybe I should do a series and call it Will It Mac and Cheese. I don't know if this is going to be a series, but I am going to see if peanuts will mac and cheese. And then we're also doing some other things. It's all based on what I have in my kitchen. Potatoes. I'm all out of potatoes, but I do have potato flakes, which I often use to thicken stews and stuff like that. So I figured I could actually maybe use potato flakes. We're going to try this. I am also going to be, instead of using carrots, I'm just changing everything. I'm going to be using butternut squash, which I'm going to roast right now. Let me go get some olive oil. I'm just putting about a tablespoon of olive oil into butternut squash, which I'm going to salt a little liberally. Oh, I'm running out of salt, man. So, and this will give it like a cheese color, like a cheddar cheese color. So it's going to be kind of like a butternut squash mac and cheese, which I love. But I'm also kind of inspired by Thai flavors. I'm really kind of doing a fusion, but I am going to have a little ginger in our peanut vegan mac and cheese, because I just, like in my mind, I'm like, peanut satay has like ginger and curry. I don't have any Thai red curry paste or any ingredients to make it, but let's try some ají amarillo. And this is a Peruvian yellow hot pepper, because this is what we have. I'm going to use chipotle, but I don't want smoke in this dish. I think the smoke would be a little too distracting. I have the peanuts, which is about a cup of peanuts, I think, soaking in water. It's been soaking for hours. I've got my butternut squash here that I'm about to roast. I'm going to puree some of this butternut squash into the mac and cheese. Some of it is just going to be swimming in the mac and cheese, just like as vegetables. I'm not going to do the full curry. I'm not going to put cumin. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep it fairly simple, like ginger and garlic. Well, ají amarillo, which is the Peruvian stuff, so we're doing fusion. I also have this, which is something I made the other night, which came out really good. Lemon cauliflower. So I breaded the cauliflower and then I put a lemon glaze over it. It was just delicious. And this is what was left. Like all the big chunks of cauliflower are gone. And this is kind of like a streusel topping with cauliflower and like some breadcrumbs and lemon glaze. So that's what I'm gonna actually top the mac and cheese with some of this, and I put a little ginger in here too, and then I'm also gonna use some breadcrumbs, probably some additional breadcrumbs. This was made with some breadcrumbs, but I'm gonna use some additional breadcrumbs. So another thing that's kind of inspiring this whole idea is Disney's mac and cheese with peanut butter and jelly. No, I'm not going like the full on. I'm not making any jelly, but I did think I did have this idea like, but what if I had like a mango chili jelly or a ginger jelly? Wouldn't that be great? And I think it would be, but I don't have it. So let's get all of this out of the way so you can focus on what I'm doing. So I've got garlic right here. Just chopping it up pretty fine. It doesn't have to be that fine. I'm actually going to be blending the sauce, so it doesn't need to be that fine. And then I got a little ginger here. Okay, I'm going to heat this up. I wish I was more organized, but I'm not very organized. Oh, Smokey, are you bored? I might end up using a little miso, so let's get this out too. I'm going to use a little earth balance, so probably taking about, looks like about a tablespoon. Probably about a tablespoon. So we're going to put a little ginger in there first. I'm going to fill this with water because we're going to heat up some pasta. Put the garlic in there now. Peanuts in our blender. I have maybe a half a cup of soy milk in here, so I think it's about a half a cup. I'm going to put about a quarter cup of nutritional yeast, a tablespoon of miso, red miso paste. Get in there. A little bit, probably about a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Put about a squeeze of lemon. Okay, well, it tastes kind of peanutty. I'm gonna let it cook a little bit more. That smells pretty good. We're gonna be blending this again. We're gonna cook it and then we're gonna blend it again after I roast the butternut squash and put the butternut squash in there as well. So let's just pour it in there. Start adjusting the flavors. Put a little bit of this ají amarillo in there. It's really hot, so you need to use it judiciously. So I'm using about this much, which is probably a lot. So I think we're gonna need a little bit more liquid. A little bit more soy milk. And then we're gonna add the potato flakes to see if let's see if it gets cheesy. We need to whisk it. Yeah, it's like definitely like got some texture because the peanuts have not fully softened. Not bad though. Definitely need more salt. A little bit more vinegar. Because cheese is tangy. And what it looks like. Okay, it's interesting. It definitely tastes cheesy, that's for sure. We're going to let this simmer a little bit. We're going to let our butternut squash roast. I'm going to throw in some of the broccoli too, now that it's had a chance to roast a bit. of these butternut squash can go straight in here right now. Putting about that much butternut squash in there to cook a little bit, and then I'm just gonna roast the rest of them so they're a little bit more roasty. I'm here for the creamy peanut sauce with the ginger. It's really good. I'm adding a little water because it's a little bit too thick. I'm thinking that you could spice this up with Thai spice or even African spice. Just be creative. Oh, it's actually much smoother now. I'm excited. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I really think that making like vegan cheese sauce is quite forgiving. There's so many ways you could do it. There's just so many ways. I've made it with pine nuts, I've made it with walnuts, I've made it with macadamia nuts. It's a combination of potatoes and nuts, but it seems like the potato flakes are working just well. You could substitute a couple potatoes instead, like boiled potatoes. You want them cooked. So I'm going to be using these, I believe they're chickpea shells. I think they're made of chickpea, but they're flour free, they're gluten free, and they're high protein. Okay, I'm going to blend it up. Look at that. Okay. So yes, peanuts do mac and cheese. Let's see how our butternut squash is doing. And our broccoli. Oh, that looks... I always taste as I go. Okay. I'm going to put it in a little bit longer because I want that butternut squash to get a little caramelly, and I also want the broccoli to get a little charred. Okay, so let's put it all together. I'm not a huge fan of fake cheese, but you know what? When you put it together in like a cream sauce, like a cheese sauce that you created yourself, and then just use a little bit, you know, to go into the sauce and then on top, it actually works out really well. It gives you so it gives you a little gloop that I love. I think that's about a package of pasta in here. Pour all of this in here. Yum! Ooh. Some cheese in there. And then I'm just gonna mix it up. Get that cheese in there. And then I'm just gonna throw some veggies in here too. I'm not even using the whole package. I'm only using like half the package. One of the ways to replicate this would be to maybe take a little brown sugar and panko and a little flour, lemon and ginger, and just sort of saute it in a pan until brown. I mean, I'm almost calling it a strudel. Ooh, I'm so excited. Going into the oven. We'll leave it in there for about 20 minutes or pretty much when Michael gets home. And then we'll take it out. You know, if the cheese is melted and everything. This is what it looks like. I probably put it in there for maybe about 20 minutes. Oops. On the floor. Pretty good. See how steamy it is? I love the sweet strudel that I put on top of it. It works really well with the peanut. Definitely think that a little sweetness kind of cuts the richness of the peanut butter. Are you hungry? How hungry are you? You know what else would be good with this? It's like caramelized onions or shallots. Get that sweetness. Okay. All right, well, that's it. We're gonna go eat now. And thank you so much for joining me on this funky little experimentation. If you want to see more Willet mac and cheese, let me know in the comments below. And I will see you later. Bye.